No, no, you didn't.
1 minute.
A wintry mess across southwestern Connecticut tonight. You probably spent some of your Wednesday trying to clear all of that snow and ice. Here's a look outside in Stamford. Most of the wet weather has moved out, but now the temperatures are dropping. Good evening. I'm Jackie Vines. Thanks for watching News 12 Connecticut and our latest winter storm watch. We're in for a deep freeze overnight. We have team coverage of this storm for you. Melissa Shakatoff is keeping an eye on the cleanup in Stamford. But first, let's get a check on the very cold conditions, and meteorologist Carrie Hall is in the Weather Center. Carrie.
Well, Jackie, now we are concerned about some black ice developing on some of the roads after today. That slushy mess came down and it's packing on the roads. And now as the temperature drops, we'll see that freezing. And the weather system has moved on. We are in for some thin clouds overnight and will continue to clear out as we head towards morning. And here's a look at how much snow we had throughout the day on Wednesday. Wilton had 9 inches of snow. Weston, Darien, and Norwalk had 8 inches of snow, while Bridgeport had 7.5, and Orange almost 6 inches of snow. Fairfield takes the cake, almost 10 inches of snow. New Canaan 6.3, Stamford and Milford 7 inches of snow. That's on top of the snow that we had on Monday. So we are dealing with a big pile of snow that is turning hard with some ice on top. And we'll also have the concern of icy roads as we go towards morning. It will be a sunny and brisk day, and highs only reaching near 30 degrees. We'll have a few more days of sunshine, dry weather, and a chance of some snow showers once again this weekend. So I'll talk more about all of that coming up in the full hyperlocal forecast.
Thanks, Carrie. And our team coverage continues in Stamford with News 12 Connecticut's Melissa Shakatoff. And Melissa, this snowstorm made it very tough on city road crews.
Jackie, officials say crews were out past 5 o'clock Wednesday evening clearing secondary and cul-de-sac roads. Take a look behind me. This is Minor Place, and it's clear now, but residents say that wasn't the case for most of the day. We've all seen this before.
I can't get by. My bumper gets ripped off.
And for Stamford resident Omar Cruz, although it was expected, he certainly wasn't happy.
I was hoping that I could follow the other tire tracks, but even though my car is low, the street should be clean enough for you to drive.
Stamford officials say their plowing system is good. Unfortunately, they say Wednesday's storm conditions made it difficult for crews to clear as efficiently as usual.
It's so wet and heavy, and there's a layer of ice on it as well. It slowed us down considerably.
The Department of Operations says they had 60 trucks out plowing. Officials say they went through close to 2,000 tons of salt.
If it snows this weekend, what they say it does, we're going to be able to do that, and that's about it. We do have more salt on order.
Crews say they care about the safety of the city and worked as quickly as they could. Residents say they understand delays, but say to avoid frustration, all drivers should be prepared when traveling through storms.
My advice would be carry your own shovel.
Officials say that crews will remain on call in case the temperatures drop and there are reports of black ice. In Stamford, Melissa Sheketoff, Mobile 12.
Thanks, Melissa. Stay warm. Many drivers in southwestern Connecticut had to dig out their cars from the piles of snow and ice like Melissa was talking about. This was in Norwalk, where some people told us it took more than an hour of digging and shoveling just to free their cars. Some say they were trying to get to work, while others say they were clearing a path in case of an emergency.
As soon as you dig yourself out, then the trucks come, plow y'all back in. So that doesn't help a lot.
Hear that from a lot of people. Some people say if you haven't shoveled out just yet, take it easy because the heavy snow can really wear you out fast. We'll have more on the health concerns behind shoveling a little bit later on in the show. Governor Dannel Malloy said he's turning his attention to the icy roads. Malloy says state trucks are still out moving snow away from highways and salting those roads. He said a wintry mix with freezing rain could mean lots of black ice overnight.
We expect icing to be a problem throughout tomorrow morning's commute. You should leave early and drive slowly.
State and local police reported hundreds of accidents Wednesday from I-95 to local roads. Plenty of cars skid and slid, getting stuck in snowbanks like this one right here. Plenty of tractor trailers were also stopped in their tracks as well. However, officials say most of those accidents were minor. As for Metro North, the railroad says it plans to run a regular schedule on Thursday. They tell us with all that snow, ice, and overnight freezing temperatures, they may have some weather-related delays. And this storm has been tough on air travelers as well. Hundreds of flights were canceled at LaGuardia, JFK, Newark Liberty, and Bradley International airports. Now here's a look at some of the great snow pictures we've been getting in from our viewers. We really appreciate them. Thanks for sending in. You're watching News 12 Connecticut, as local news gets. In there. I don't know. Yeah, I gotcha. What stores are those? Oh, good, because I hated that name. Close
Give me
to
a little
Brandon.
love, please.
Of course.
Thank you.
Now, who cares what Brandon looks like? What about me? How do I look? I'm just kidding. Tell you what, I need to shave my legs.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
really none of your business, but.
Like my face. I gotta shave my face. See? You
On
can
one
see-
or two? Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm covered. Okay.
Brandon, are you close to your feet?
Oh, dag nabbit. Right after I've already situated myself. That means I'm gonna have to resituate myself.
Hey, this James kid's a good kid. James is good.
Yeah, he is.
I like him.
He can hear you over mics.
Oh, great. I hate him.
Right.
I don't
I
want his head to get
can.
big.
Well, you know, sometimes the truth is the truth.
Remember, I control the feedback. Yeah, I'm not real good with that. So.
I hate this shot. Yeah, I know. I hate it. I hate this shot. This makes me look like a Goodyear blimp.
A local lookout in New Canaan. A lot of snow and slush still on the ground, and it is getting very cold out there tonight. Let's get the latest forecast from meteorologist Carrie Hall.
You can see that guy walking in the middle of the street. That's what I had to do because the snow is piled up so high on the sidewalk. And it will be a frigid night, down to 14 degrees north of the Parkway and south of the Merritt, a low of 19 degrees. The sky slowly clear. We will start out with some sunshine on Thursday, but not much of a warm up, only reaching 25 degrees and south a high of 28. Although it stays below freezing, we could get a little bit of melting thanks to the sun, and we are going to keep the sunshine through a couple of days. I'll show you that, and I'll let you know if there is any more snow in the hyperlocal forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Carrie. Pharmacy chain CVS turned heads Wednesday when it announced plans to stub out cigarettes in each of its stores nationwide. The company's CEO says it will no longer sell cigarettes at a place that provides health care. It is the first among nation drugstore chains to get rid of tobacco products. CVS has over 7,600 stores nationwide, about 24 right here in southwestern Connecticut. President Obama applauded the drugstore's decision in a statement, saying it would help reduce tobacco-related illnesses and deaths. One Fairfield drugstore made the decision to take cigarettes off their shelves 25 years ago. News 12 Connecticut's Brandon Walker spoke with the owners today, and Brandon, they too are applauding CVS.
Yeah, Jackie, the Collins family has run a store here in the area since 1931. They say drugstores that sell cigarettes do so to increase foot traffic, but they say these days there's no longer a need for pharmacies, no matter the size, to do so.
This was in the old store.
These days you won't find a pharmacy counter at Collins Medical Equipment. They sold that years ago. But when it was here,
It was the right thing to do, absolutely, positively.
co-owner Jack Collins says he and his family made a big decision. It made news then.
In the 80s, we decided that, just like CVS did 30 years later, that the right thing to do is not to sell tobacco products to your patients.
At surface level, it makes sense. Pharmacies shouldn't be in the business of selling cigarettes. But years ago,
He founded the business back in 1931.
customers turned to their corner pharmacy for much more than simply health needs. For that matter, cigarettes. They used to keep them behind the counter at the old Collins pharmacy. Years later,
You can't be a healthcare company and sell something that's not healthy.
industry insiders say pharmacies, CVS included, have become more health-oriented. Still, budding out comes with a hit. For CVS, about $2 billion in yearly revenue. A loss for them,
I think it's a great news for small stores like us.
hopefully a potential gain, say area smoke shops.
They being a big franchise, they have their own level of prices, which is much lower than what we can sell.
And Akhtar Zamir, the gentleman you just saw in that story who owns the Norwalk Smoke Shop, says that's even more evident in sales of cartons because larger chains can buy cigarettes in larger bulk than he. Jackie, no other national chain has said anything about following suit. Still, everyone we spoke to says that will happen and soon. But again, that conversation is still in its early stages, and lots of people right now are talking about CVS and the potential it could have down the road.
Interesting, big move. We appreciate it. Thanks, Brandon.
Sure.
And in our question of the day, we're asking, do you agree with the decision by CVS to stop selling cigarettes at all of its stores nationwide? 67% of you say you agree. 33% of you do not. You can vote on news12.com, channel 612, or weigh in on our Facebook page. A bizarre car crash to tell you about in Norwalk. Police say a driver shot and killed himself and then crashed into another car. Investigators say the cars collided at the corner of Van Buren Avenue and Bedford Street about 9:30 Tuesday night. They say officers found one driver dead of what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
They were going to exchange information, and one of the drivers called us up to notify us, and upon our arrival is when we located the driver.
Police say the other driver was treated for some minor back pain following that crash. Investigators are trying to determine how a fire started at a Bridgeport home. Crews say when they got to the house on Berkeley Place Wednesday afternoon, flames were shooting from the home. Firefighters say all the snow made it tricky to put out that fire.
Companies had to come in from two different streets in two different directions and pull hose up, unshoveled walkways. Very difficult. Guys did a really, really good job.
Nobody was home at the time, and none of the firefighters were hurt, but we're told one of the family's pets did die in that fire. 3 Greenwich police officers were honored Wednesday evening for their rise in the ranks. First Selectman Peter Tessie swore in the officers in the lobby of the Greenwich Public Safety Complex. New Captain Robert Berry said it is an honor.
One thing we all share is that our dedication to serving the community, and I look at this promotion as another opportunity to do that.
2 other officers were also promoted Wednesday. David Nemechek is also now a lieutenant, and William Larkin is promoted to sergeant. Here's a look outside in Bridgeport. Carrie has a look at your full hyperlocal forecast coming up in just a few minutes on News 12 Connecticut. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know what that means, like it's breaking up in your ear. Yeah. Right, because it gets thrown around.
Yeah.
Jackie, do you want a new one for yourself?
Yes, please. Do not get my shoes.
Yes, I got you.
Here's the latest on local stories making headlines here in southwestern Connecticut. Municipal crews spent most of their Wednesday clearing the roads from a messy mix of snow and ice. And now all that slush left behind, the storm is set to freeze overnight. The colder weather could make for some slippery conditions Thursday morning. Speaking of that weather, let's get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Carrie Hall. I'm glad it's over with, at least for now, right?
Yeah, Jackie, we get a couple of days to try to dig out from this storm, but keep in mind we've had nearly 2 feet above the normal amount of snow we get at this point. So we've had an extraordinary amount of snow so far this season. We can see it in Fairfield where they just had 9.8 inches of snow on top of the 8 inches that we had on Monday. So this has been a busy week, and now the radar is taking a rest and we are going to see mostly clear skies overnight. The system is getting out of here and we will have some sunshine heading throughout the day on Thursday. Definitely good news, but we have at least a foot of snow on the ground and it really won't warm up that much as we go through the day on Thursday. Starting out at 5 o'clock at 18 degrees, and in fact it will feel even colder than that. It will feel like it is 10 degrees because it will be breezy with gusts up to 25. 23 degrees will be your temperature at lunchtime. If you're going to try to get outside, play in the snow, it is very hard because of that layer of freezing rain on top of the snow. And it's going to be a cold day. At least we will, though, get some sunshine. Showing in the forecast, not a whole lot. We will have mostly clear skies and another bright and sunny day on Friday. You need the sunglasses to keep that bright light from reflecting off of the snow over the next couple of days, especially while driving. And tonight in New Canaan, expect a low of 16 degrees. Norwalk, a low of 18 degrees. Skies gradually clear, breezy and cooler. In Easton, a low of 15 degrees, while Milford gets down to 19. And throughout the day on Thursday, topping out at 25 degrees in Wilton, and Greenwich a high of 28 degrees. So we are not going to get above freezing. Bridgeport a high of 26 and Woodbridge a high of 25 degrees. We'll only get into the upper 20s the next couple of days after a morning start in the lower teens. By Sunday, we'll be tracking another system moving in, which right now looks to bring us some light snow and some very cold air sticking with us as we go into next week. Maybe even a few more snow flurries on Wednesday. I'll have another look at the hyperlocal forecast coming up.
And Reading was one of the hardest hit communities here in southwestern Connecticut. They saw about 9 inches of snow or so. Officials say crews had a tough time clearing the roads because of the dangerous mix of leftover snow and that freezing rain. It was just so heavy to pick up. The highway superintendent says crews will continue to clean and salt the roads through the night. In Bridgeport, City Public Works crews are working through the night to remove all the snow there. The mayor's office says it is important to clear as much of it as they can from the city streets before another potential storm this weekend. The snow emergency is still in effect there in Bridgeport, and officials want to remind you to not park cars on snow emergency streets. The city has set up a special number for people to call and report areas that have not yet been plowed. You can find that number on our website, news12.com. It's also on our info line, 203-354-INFO. In 12 on Health, if you shoveled today, you know the storm dumped some heavy snow all across our area, and shoveling can be a real workout. Doctors at Norwalk Hospital say they see a lot of people coming into their emergency room with shoulders and back pain and even chest pain. They say before you grab a shovel, be sure you can handle that strain.
If you do have a history of heart disease or risk factors for heart disease, such as hypertension, diabetes, high cholesterol, this could potentially cause you to have chest pain or cardiac symptoms that require you to come to the hospital for attention.
Dr. Perkins says people also have to be careful while walking because injuries from just slipping and falling are very common right about this time with all the snowstorms. And just because you're the mayor of the biggest city in the country does not mean you get out of shoveling. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio took the shovel to his front walkway in Brooklyn Wednesday. When de Blasio took office at the beginning of the year, he and his family decided not to move into the traditional mayor's mansion in Manhattan. We are getting so many great snow pictures from you guys. Remember to send us your pics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You've got a million ways to do it. You just use the hashtag News12CT. You're watching News 12 Connecticut, as local news gets.
How's the baby?
Super good. Yeah, I can hear you.
She's not a baby anymore.
She's not, but I feel like I just gave birth yesterday. It's amazing.
You know what's funny? I got shoes. I used to get so annoyed when people would say to me, "Oh,
Yep, I can hear
it
you.
goes by so quickly." That just me off. And
Why?
I tell you, it does. It does go by.
Still does? Oh.
Well, I have.
I'm Jackie Banez. A handful of Connecticut lawmakers officially opened this year's legislative session in Hartford Wednesday, but the winter weather across the state delayed Governor Malloy's State of the State address. Instead, the governor will deliver his remarks to a joint session of the legislature on Thursday. He's expected to propose changes to the state budget and unveil a plan to increase the minimum wage to $10.10. You can see the governor's State of the State address live. He's expected to address the legislature at noon Thursday. Of course, we'll bring it to you right here on News 12 Connecticut.
Hi, I'm Damian Andrew. National Signing Day, a big day for New Canaan's Connor Buck and other high school football players here in southwestern Connecticut. Buck, a two-way force on the Rams state title team, signs with Colgate. His teammate, Michael Root, right here, he signs with Lafayette, a D1 college football program with plenty of tradition. In fact, Root says it was tradition that sold him on the school.
I know their program has had a lot of success, and coming from a program like this, I was looking for a program that was kind of similar to this in the way that they have success.
I went to my overnight, my official visit. Just the group of guys, the camaraderie, you can really feel it, and that's just something I love.
Nicole Harris, another member of the New Canaan State Championship defense, is headed to Fordham. He will not go there as a scholarship player, rather a preferred walk-on, but once he gets there, he will have a chance to earn that scholarship. Fairfield Prep has a couple of players who will play Division I college football next season. Both of them are sitting down. On the left is Nick Crowley. He's headed to Yale, and the guy next to him is Tony Fox. The big lineman will join New Canaan's Cole Harris at Fordham. Former Brian McMahon football star Kyle Jordan signed his letter of intent Wednesday to play for Central Connecticut State. He stays in state. He is the only running back in new head coach Pete Rossamondo's first recruiting class. Jordan spent this past season at a prep school. And for a list of all the high school football stars from southwestern Connecticut and who signed where and who signed what national letter of intent, please go to msgvarsity.com. Former NBA All-Star Tracy McGrady, who played one season with the Knicks, could soon be throwing fastballs in Bridgeport. Let me explain. McGrady interested in playing pro baseball this season for the Sugarland Skeeters of the Atlantic League, and that's the same league that the Bridgeport Bluefish play in. McGrady is working with former Yankees pitcher Roger Clemens right now on his pitching mechanics, so we'll see how that goes. The baseball season couldn't come soon enough, right? And this was the ballpark at Harbor Yard on Wednesday after another round of winter weather. Gotta love it, but inside the Bluefish offices, the alarm was not working correctly, but they are hard at work. Trust me, Assistant General Manager Jamie Toole is trying to find ways to improve attendance.
We need to get out there and talk to people, tell them what we're doing, tell them about the value here. You know, I don't think in the past couple years we've had maybe the staff to get out there and talk to people and go to chamber events and Rotary clubs and really talk about the Bluefish.
And the Bluefish season about 2 months away. Couldn't come soon enough. Nothing like that ping of the aluminum baseball bat. Wednesday's weather didn't stop Isaac here from getting in his cuts at the batter's box in Norwalk. Isaac's a freshman in high school, and before you know it, he'll be going to baseball tryouts. Hometown Sports Video. Platt Tech freshman Sam Mohammed Jr., he's with the ball. He went over the 100-point mark this season after that three right there in a recent game against Eli Whitney Tech. He's averaging just over 8 points per game, is Sam. And he's a freshman on the varsity, and he's pretty good because they don't bring freshmen up to the varsity just every day, right? And how kind of interesting, 2 baseball stories on a Wednesday that was just
let's say sayonara to this snow. Come on. Do you have any pull with the weather gods?
Well, I'm trying.
I think you do.
Yeah.
I think you do. Work on it for us.
We're going to have some more snow, though. It doesn't look like a major snowstorm, but we are going to still have more winter, and it's not over just yet. Look at how cold it stays through the rest of the 7-day forecast. In fact, I don't think we'll get above freezing, and we could see some single-digit lows, especially as we head into the middle of next week.
All right, and now let's take a look at what's going on right here in southwestern Connecticut. Okay.
All right, Jackie Ibanez.
Okay. Nice working with you, dude.
We'll see you, yes. Same to you.
You're the best sportsman around.
See you, thank you. See you
Don't tell
tomorrow.
Sudal.
No, I won't tell Sue.
All right, good. Is that chair still in the way? Okay. How far down am I reading? Just as. Carrie, what time do you go to bed?
11 o'clock.
Really? Born ready. A bizarre car crash to tell you about in Norwalk. Police say a driver shot and killed himself and then crashed into another car. Investigators say the cars collided at the corner of Van Buren Avenue and Bedford Street at about 9:30 Tuesday night. They say officers found one driver dead of what appeared to be a